name is Lori and welcome back to another video. Today I'm coming to you from the mountains and I'm going to be teaching you how to make Khadaif. Khadaif is a dessert commonly made around the Middle East and the Mediterranean. Some countries that make it include Turkey, Greece, Albania, Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, and Armenia. It's also called many different names. Like in Turkey, it is called künefe, and same in Egypt, but our family likes to call it the Khadaif. So the ingredients for this are shredded phyllo dough. You can find this in the freezer section of any Mediterranean or Middle Eastern store. Make sure you thaw it before using. Some organic raw sugar, or any sugar. I'm just using organic raw sugar because I like to use organic ingredients. Orange blossom water. You can also use rose water. Cinnamon. A pint of heavy whipping cream, or half and half. Cornstarch. Water. 16 tablespoons of butter, which should be enough to make 1 melted cup of butter. And walnuts. The walnuts are completely optional. You can also use pistachios if you like, or if you don't want nuts, you don't have to use it, but I'm going to be using walnuts for this recipe. And the tools you're going to need are a cutting board, a sharp knife, a spoon, measuring spoons, another measuring cup, a pan for your Khadaif. This is a 9 by 13 inch pan, a big mixing bowl, and a pot. Let's get started. There are 3 parts when making Khadaif: the dough, the custard, and the syrup. First, let's start off by making the dough. We melted our butter already, which is 1 cup of melted butter, which is the butter you should have. And we are going to be using our shredded phyllo dough. This is what it looks like. And using your sharp knife, we're going to take out the dough and we're going to start cutting it like this. And we're going to keep cutting it, and then we're going to put it in the bowl. Now that we've cut the dough, we're going to put it in the bowl. Bit by bit. And once it's all in the bowl, we're going to start shredding the dough. So you want to make sure that all the dough stays separate and it's not attached to other pieces. So we're just going to keep shredding the dough until all the pieces of dough are shredded. Okay, now that everything seems shredded, we're going to add in our cup of melted butter. I know it looks like orange juice, right? It's just butter. Pour it. Oh yeah. Now that we poured it in, it's time to shred it. Again, we're gonna start separating. I'm gonna mix it first. And then once it's all mixed together, ooh, it's warm. We're going to start separating because the butter is gonna make it stick together. Now we have to separate it more. Okay, we just wanna find all the clumps and separate it. Ooh, look, there's a clump. Okay, just gonna separate it like that and make sure everything gets coated in the butter. Once all of the dough is evenly coated with butter and is shredded, we're going to roughly cut it in half. So kind of using your hands, separating it. And we are going to take 1/2 of the dough and put it in the pan and spread it out. It's best to use an oven-safe glass pan for this Khadaif because we're going to be cutting it out of the pan and we don't want it to make any marks. So once that is spread out, it's time to make the custard. We are at the stove and now it is time to make the custard. And before you do, this is a good time to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. We are going to start off by adding 5 tablespoons of cornstarch to the bowl. Oh boy. After we've added in our 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, we are going to add some water to mix with the cornstarch. So this is a 1/2 cup of water. And using our giant spoon, we're just gonna mix it together so all the little chunks are gone. Now that we've combined our water with our cornstarch, we're going to turn on the stove to medium heat. And then we're going to start stirring. And when we're stirring, we're going to gradually add in the heavy whipping cream. Okay, slowly add it in. And we're going to keep mixing it until it gets to a pudding consistency. To have a soft, creamy texture, make sure you continuously stir while pouring in the cream so it doesn't clump up. And you can already kind of feel it starting to become a little thicker, and that's when you know you're on the right track. Okay, and once you see that your mixture has thickened, you're going to turn off the stove and put it to the side. It's okay if you see some clumps because when you bake it with the nuts in the dough, it won't really show. And if it does start to clump up, just start stirring it a little bit faster, just like this. Try to save your custard. Okay, now it is time to add the custard to the Khadaif. So we're just gonna pour it on top, try to spread it evenly. Oh, so satisfying. And then after we put it on the Khadaif, we're going to crush the walnuts and put it on top and add the cinnamon. Okay. Now that we've added the custard to the Khadaif, we're just gonna spread it out so it touches all the sides before we add in our walnuts and our cinnamon. Okay. And now we're sprinkling the cinnamon on top of the walnuts. Oh, it looks so pretty. And this is the secret ingredient. This is what makes it taste so good. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Now that we've added our custard, cinnamon, and walnuts to the Khadaif, we're going to take the other half of the dough and put it on top evenly. Just like that, spreading it around. Now we are ready to bake. We are going to put the Khadaif in the oven at 375 degrees and bake for 40 minutes or until it is golden brown. And meanwhile that's baking, we are going to make our syrup. Now it's time to make the syrup. We are going to need 2.5 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water, and 1 teaspoon of orange blossom water or rose water, depending on your taste. And the secret ingredient to the syrup, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Now we're going to turn this on high heat. Oh, whoopsie. On high heat. And we're going to start mixing. And we're going to continue mixing when it comes to a boil. While it boils, make sure to keep stirring it until it has a thicker, syrupy consistency. And as you're stirring, you can feel it become thicker, and you can also see the change in color. And you're going to keep stirring. When you think it's done, we're going to turn it off. We're going to set it to the side. And we're going to keep stirring until it cools down so it doesn't get crystallized. Now it is time to check on our Khadaif. Ooh, look at that. It's golden brown. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's take it out and set it to the side. Look! It's perfect. Oh my goodness. Look at this beautiful golden brown. And you know what it needs? It needs its syrup. Let's look on our syrup. Check on our syrup. Let's turn off the oven first. Let's check on our syrup. Look, it's a lot thicker. It's like syrup. And it is room temperature. So the key to this is you either want to have cold Khadaif and hot syrup when you pour it on, or you want to have cold syrup and hot Khadaif. So right now we have hot Khadaif and we have the colder syrup. So we're just going to pour on the syrup, which adds the sweetness. Try to spread it out. And now I'm going to add some more syrup to the corners and the sides with a spoon. It's still bubbling. And now we're just going to let the Khadaif sit for a few minutes before we serve it. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on my post notifications so you get notified every single time I post a video. It really means a lot to me that you guys are watching my videos. And feel free to suggest anything you want me to make in the comments down below, and if you tried any of my recipes. Anyway, bye-bye!